All right. This is our first movie. First movie.
Yeah,
first movie review of The Boy and the Heron.
Yep.
You watched it like approximately.
What was that like? Then it'd be probably 2 hours.
Yeah, a little
3
bit.
hours.
A little 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I got this still. I bought it on Amazon Steelbook case.
Great
right here.
It really describes everything that happened in the movie too. If you think about it.
That's probably one of the studio Hayao Miyazaki's weakest entries, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think I haven't seen all of his movies. I've seen a lot of clips of his movies, but I know Spirited Away and House of Castle are like cult classics.
They're not cult. Well, they're not cult.
Well, not
they're
classics.
They're world renowned.
And what's the other one? A Mononoke and
Princess Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke. Yeah. So Spirited, all those movies, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Owl's Moving Castle, like they're all good. But I think Owl's Moving Castle and those movies are easier to decipher. Which I feel like sometimes when you make movies like this that are for a theatrical audience, you need it to be where the audience can understand it easily. It's not like it can be an art piece, but to a degree where, like, I feel like a part of a good movie is the audience has to understand it as well. Like that has to be a part. You have to, we know you're smart, right? But you have to, if you're good enough, you can make it smart and the audience understand it.
Yeah, this was like probably literally the most challenging Hayao Miyazaki movie I really had to bear witness to. I mean, it really was like a slog. Like I couldn't really connect with the main character boy. What's his name? It doesn't say. The synopsis I threw away. Because it was so boring, I forgot the kid's name. But apparently he's voiced by Christian Bale somehow.
Right, which is interesting.
Which is weird. I thought he played the dad, but apparently he's the main kid somehow. I'm not sure that's what it said on the thing, but I might be tripping. I don't know, but
it didn't sound nothing like him.
Yeah,
Christian Bale's good though, so it could be.
It could. I'm pretty sure it's the dad. That's impossible if he was playing the little boy.
Yeah, I think the little boy had to be a kid.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's probably the weakest lineup. So I guess we'll just talk about what the meaning was to us. Yeah. I mean, it seemed like you appreciated a little bit more than I did. So I guess we'll start off with a more positive starting point.
Yeah, I
think it's what you had. I'm more so negative. I pretty much don't really like it. I kind of regret buying it now. Actually, I'm glad I have it as far as like. Yeah, it's an addition, the collection to my Studio Ghibli collection. But I'll wean or I'll cringe the next time I have to watch it. I mean, I think I'll just start. Like you said, I'll start with the pros. I mean, it was a very good artistic movie. It had a lot of like scenes where I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like I love what they're doing there, and I definitely could tell it looked like an art book. It looked like something you might go in a museum and watch, and there was definitely themes that he was trying to get across. And I thought it was maybe like a child's imagination that was slowly dying because of him going into adulthood or boyhood. But every time I thought it was something else would happen. I think a big part of it was like scene to scene. It was just like it was just chaos. Like it was just he did not care about the viewer. I think this was kind of like a passion product almost, which I think some directors are. But now you sound kind of negative a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not gonna say like I loved it because it was confusing. It was just too confusing. I can't say I liked the film because I just didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like if you had a gun to my head and you said, "Tell me what's going on," I'd be dead. I don't know what the fuck happened in it, but it looked beautiful for sure. But like I said, the point of a good film is that the audience, when I leave the theater, I can take away something from it. I'm not sure what to take. I just got kind of like a headache a little bit. Yeah. I didn't know what to take away from it. I felt like my brain was like I had to like drink some coffee to align my thoughts again. because it was so just chaotic and everything. As far as the characters go, I think, yeah, the characters were probably the weakest. I think the strongest part was the atmosphere of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The atmosphere of the movie was strong.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, but the characters, I didn't. There was no character. Yeah, I think the main character was kind of unlikable. If I really wanted to get into it, I feel like
yeah, and it's kind of weird because I thought I would relate to the more stoicness.
Yeah,
but it felt like a boy his age being that stoic.
Yeah,
that was like, I mean, it felt kind of natural where it felt like a little midget man.
Right.
And his dad was like super duper emotional.
Yeah, his dad felt like he was the child.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Because what kid? The scene where he hit himself in the head. What kid thinks to hit himself?
I'll go through some of the themes that I observe on my initial viewing.
Yeah.
But you can still continue with your thing.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to think of scenes from the movie. Like I think the scene of the heron, and the thing that the title itself, like the boy and the heron, it has really nothing. I mean, it has something to do with herons, but it's not really. Like that main heron you see in the trailer is like, I guess he's a crucial part of the movie. Again, I have no clue. Mm-hmm. Like I can't even remember it. Like it's just like I know he's a part of the movie, and then like some of the stuff, it almost felt like I was It felt like with all the characters that turned into other characters because at first it was a heron, then it was a man trapped in a heron's body. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they never touched on why it was maybe we was just supposed to get our own interpretation of them. Mm-hmm. But it just felt too highbrow for me. Mm-hmm. And like you said, you've seen the other ones and they're not that highbrow. Right.
Like they're definitely, like, it's definitely a beginning, middle, and like it's just a direct course of actions. Yeah. This one, it felt like a total acid trip in a worse kind of way. I think where like you get like the Spirit Away, the Alice in Wonderland kind of thing.
Right.
Where it's like an isekai kind of thing. Where you're transported to another world and like you're just subjected to the winds of the chaos of the other world.
Right.
But this one, I mean, though it was like visually interesting, it didn't really feel like it had a real deep narrative impact. I mean, I have my own. I'm gonna get into what I think the movie is trying to present itself as a little bit later. I mean, are you done with your observation of it?
Well, you mentioned Alice in Wonderland. I think Alice in Wonderland is a good idea of like a bunch of chaotic and random ideas and topics.
I mean, well, personally, I'm going to do my own review of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, but no, I'm going.
But I don't think Alice in Wonderland is just chaos. I think it's just synonymous with something else, which I think this movie's trying to say something about itself as far as like the history of Studio Ghibli and Miyazaki's creations itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Alice in Wonderland is a good example of something that's taking chaotic visuals and ideas and it makes it done well. This took a lot of chaotic visuals and ideas, and it just confused the audience. Like Alice in Wonderland is a prime example of a movie where it's like that could have went south. You talk about Mad Hatters and cards fucking fighting each other, but we went away from the movie knowing exactly what it was. Like this movie, it's like I don't know what it was. There is a message, but is it my job as the viewer to go search what the message is on Reddit or YouTube after I'm done?
I mean, well, yeah, it can be. I mean, like something like The Lighthouse. I mean, well, even though I didn't complete, like, and apparently, in The Lighthouse, what was it, Patrick?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson. Yeah. He was in The Lighthouse, and Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And you thought Willem Dafoe was in this movie.
Yeah, I did think it sounded like one of the, like that dying heron sounded like William Dafoe. I don't know if you remember the one in the corner. It sounded just like William Dafoe.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that part. Yeah. I guess
it did sound like him.
Why you would think that.
Yeah. It sounded just like him. Yeah. But I feel like they did do a good job of the voice acting was great though. I will say.
Yeah. The casting was really good. I'm surprised Christian Bale came back. For a Studio Ghibli film.
Yeah. I didn't even know he was on the other one, which is interesting. Like,
I didn't like Howl's Moving Castle the first time I watched it when I was like a young teenager. But I bought it for DVD to add it to my collection.
Yeah.
About a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I watched it again as as an adult, and
Right.
like it's actually one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Watching it as an adult, like I can appreciate it a lot more for what it has to offer.
Yeah.
But with this, I don't know. Maybe I gotta give it another chance and look up like what some of the meanings that went over my head. I don't know. Yeah. But from what I'm just gonna arm wrestle my way into this. What I think about it real quick. Like it's pretty clear that it's self-referential to his previous work. Like I could see aspects of it that was done before. That's like it's totally referential to until like the part where when the Heron is beckoning the boy to come into the building, when the old lady's trying to hey, we shouldn't go in there, it's clearly a trap. The boy's like, I don't care, just try to shoot the arrow with his feather at him. And that reminded me of a scene that was in Howl's Moving Castle when you're when that part when you probably didn't see it.
I didn't see it,
but those of you who did, you might remember in Howl's library, it was like all those books. That's what it kind of reminded me of that a little bit. And once you get to like the hallway scene where like he shot that arrow at the Heron with his own feather at the back of the quill. Like it kind of reminded me of like Ni no Kuni as well. And like with the extravagant halls and all that kind of stuff. And throughout the movie, I could see certain scenes from Spirited Away being implemented in it. Howl's Moving Castle a lot. Like I could see a lot of Howl's Moving Castle in this movie, especially with and Spirited Away too, especially with the paper when the mother was in that tomb thing, and the paper was like kind of like walking around.
I remember
the
that.
mother.
And
it kind of reminded me of like the shadowy creatures in Howl's Moving Castle, and the paper that attacked the boy and the girl in Spirited Away. It was just like those two things. Kind of referenced in that scene. And, many other scenes like that. And I feel like it's kind of like a self commentary and on what Studio Ghibli is. I can even see Ponyo in it too, especially at the end scene with the water. Kind of like coming alive. And I could see a lot of like Ponyo animation essence still lingering in the scene there. And I enjoy Ponyo a lot too. And like it was just so many things. It's kind of felt like just one big self-referential movie for like passing on the torch to like the next generation. That was pretty clear with Mark Hamill's character, what he voiced the old man in the movie. And you got like this big rock that's floating or whatever. It came out in space. I think that rock, that meteor, I think that's supposed to be a reference to like inspiration, where like it comes from, because like meteors come from the void, and it hits you all of a sudden. It comes down to Earth, it burns, it's fire, it's hot, but once it hits Earth, it's impactful, it cools, it singes, and it's just like sudden creation, where you see the people building around the rock to build a building around it to keep the inspiration. But from people with other hands or other intentions to kind of negate what that inspiration is, it kind of transforms it into something that wasn't meant to be. And I think what the guy, the uncle, the grand uncle, was supposed to kind of represent is supposed to be someone with more capable hands, imaginary hands, to keep that world, that inspiration, something that's nothing from the void, to keep it going. And and in the movie, like supposedly he went mad from reading too many books, if you remember that part, he went mad. So he went into his own universe to sort of just well, it's not totally clear why. Maybe he just enjoys the trapping in that world.
Yeah.
I originally I thought I think you thought too that it was like some sort of afterlife thing, right?
Yeah, I thought they were going afterlife. And then too the ending of the movie, again, sometimes sometimes there's movies that leave stuff to interpretation, but I feel like as a viewer we're owed a clear explanation.
I don't think that's true. I mean, not all the time.
I think so. I honestly think if I pay for a ticket, and that this is not going to be a sequel type of movie either. So I feel like if you're talking about a general American moviegoer, like we're not, this is a Japanese movie in a way, but it's like I don't really want to research this after I see it.
Really?
Like I want to with movies today in this fast paced sort of at come as we go type of thing. I want to see the movie, get a clear explanation, and then take something from it. And I think if you want to go that philosophy route, you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't. It's almost as if he was like trying to call the viewer stupid with some of the stuff. Like he was just like purposely trying to like insult intelligence because there's just no way.
Well,
like that.
I feel like you had to watch previous.
Yeah, that might be it too.
Yeah, because like I mentioned, it was clear. It was so clear. Like, yeah. If you're like a fanboy like I am of Hayao Miyazaki, and it kind of pains me that I don't like this movie.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean.
It could be second viewing too.
Yeah, maybe if I give it another chance, hopefully I'll appreciate it later. But for now, my initial thought is like, it was like so painful and like, it was such a slow burn to get to the next scene. It kind of felt like, and maybe it wasn't trying to, but it felt like it insisted upon itself its own greatness.
That's the thing. I think he has an idea of what he feels is great, right? And then sometimes creatives will do this, where they feel like, okay, this is great, so you must feel that it's great. And he sort of like because so with Hayao Miyazaki's movie, like it doesn't like what I feel or how what I get the essence of when I'm watching these movies is more so the story telling the art style, but in this one, it felt like the art style telling the story. Yeah,
and that's just what I felt, and it's pretty. I mean, it just seems like for now, I could change my mind later, but it seems like right now that the story greatly suffered because I couldn't really connect with the main character, the boy. Like, he just kind of felt like nothing.
Yeah, he felt like he wasn't likable to me. He felt like, I think the most likable character was probably the mother or younger versions of the mother and stuff. But the main character, the
girl that was like literally spitting fire.
Yeah, she was good, but the main character damn near felt like an anti-hero.
Yeah, like characters come out of nowhere and just do things especially like the little creature, the ubiquitous, cute, simple design, simple face creatures.
Yeah,
that's supposed to go into the next world to be born.
Right.
As like people.
Right.
And then those storks come out of nowhere, and like I thought. Like, oh yeah, storks, yeah, it's like the folklore thing where storks deliver babies, they deliver life. So I thought it was gonna be something like that, but it ended up, and I'm not mad that wasn't the case, but the storks ended up eating the spirits.
Yeah.
So it was more like a twist on like storks giving life instead they're like selfishly taking it away.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah, and there was also a scene of like the storks like, oh, we have to do this. And then, so it was just so many.
Yeah, that's a constant theme, like, in the movie where, like, beautiful things, like birds who are, like, a symbol of life, freedom, and purity, they're kind of, like, twisted in this world to, in this imagined spirit world where this guy's conjured up stuff. Like, they're more monstrous, they're more selfish, and they consume a lot, you're just more conniving.
Yeah. Cute in this world is good, and no, I don't say ugly, but like more.
But it's twisted in that world.
Yeah, but
where like the freaking birds are like, it's like that. Probably the most horrific scene, honestly, was the
when a bird was like filleting his knife and getting ready to eat the little boy.
Yeah.
Like there was blood splatter everywhere, and like you see flesh and bones and like buckets and like it's something out of a freaking horror movie. I was like, is this really freaking?
Yeah.
Like that, like this fucking scaring me, and like I guess I scary. At least I don't know.
I don't think it's scary necessarily,
but it's unsettling for sure.
Yeah, it's probably not for like little children, but I think.
Yeah, I won't let my kids watch that shit because like that's still scary. This freaking bird just.
Yeah, that's definitely a scene. If you watch as a kid, you could get scared.
Yeah, I would. That would definitely scare me because, like, even the scene from Howl's Moving Castle with the creatures walking in the sky, like that kind of prevented me from watching that movie for a long time because that scared me. So maybe I do just scare easily.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe it's just me.
Yeah, it's just you.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe that movie was meant for children to watch. Maybe he's so smart.
It's GTV something.
Right, but maybe you have to have a childlike imagination to understand it. Like maybe that was a part of it.
What's the rating on here?
Like you have to have a child's imagination to understand. You know.
Oh no, it's PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, so never mind.
But it's interesting because I think you said like it's just like a child just telling you a story, and it just keeps throwing different ideas at you every couple
you might
minutes.
Want to stop touching the knob thing.
Oh, okay.
I can hear the sound rattling.
Yeah, it's like it was like a child telling you a story. Like when you ask a kid to tell you a story, he just keeps telling different shit over.
Oh
and
yeah,
over.
that was a good point there. Yeah. Well, a good point for a bad movie.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad movie. I just think it
was bad.
It wasn't an entertaining movie. I mean, it wasn't an entertaining movie. Like for you to say it's bad, like what's a bad movie, right? Like Borderlands movie, that was bad. That's not. I mean, that's not that. It's not a movie that I like.
I mean, a bad movie has to have like a lot of negative attributes. I mean, the only positive I would give this movie, like it is, I mean, is Hayao Miyazaki's Studio Ghibli. It's beautiful, of course it is.
Right.
I mean that's par for the course. But there's no story to keep me to be engaged with it. I don't connect with the character. I don't connect with the boy. There's no real character that I really like or that excites me.
Yeah.
Like in any other Studio Ghibli film.
Yeah, I think like you said, like it was like watching it. I wasn't like I want to see what happens next because frankly, I didn't know what was going to happen next.
Yeah, I was excited
didn't understand
to see the next scene, but
from scene to scene,
it felt like it was too long to get to. And you mocked me for saying I have TikTok brain, which I don't. But
yeah,
for a movie like this, for a Hayao Miyazaki film, I mean, there's got to be some visual flair. Like it was just like far too subtle for what it was trying to portray.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. This is a hard miss for me, man.
I'd probably give it like 2 out of 5 stars, but that's
a bad movie.
Yeah, that's it. But the 2 out of 5 is gonna be not because it's bad, but because it isn't a movie that I feel like it's not an easy watch, right? Like if I want to say, I want to watch a fun movie while I'm eating something, that's not it. Now, if you want an art school movie while you're in class or something to talk about, this is perfect.
I don't think so.
I
don't think there's anything to really learn story wise. It just feels it just feels way too self-referential.
I don't think it's empty philosophy there though. There's definitely.
I don't think there's a philosophy in there either.
I said I don't think it's empty philosophy. Like where some movies are just they're trying to make a point, but there's nothing there really. You can't make that claim
if it's not apparent to you. I mean.
No, there's something there, but like there's some movies that do this and there's nothing there. There's something here with this movie, but it's just the fact of like the way it's portrayed. It's not clearly portrayed. That makes it to me not a good movie because like you can't have themes that are too difficult for your average viewer to understand and say it's good. And also, if the themes
I don't think that's a fair criticism.
No,
that doesn't sound fair to me.
So, like, what would you say? So, like, what's your criticism in terms of why you said because it's just you just didn't like it?
I mean, the pacing's really bad. I think like the pacing's awful.
Yeah, no, the pacing's good. I mean, it's
like you had something kind of interesting, and everybody, and I know there's this kind of like a problem with Studio Ghibli, how Miyazaki films, where like everybody talks really soft, like a little bit too soft, or like you can't really understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Where like you talk really soft and then kind of fast, and this was like the biggest problem I've ever seen of that problem in this movie. And it's like I had to like listen super hard. Like I even contemplated like putting on subtitles because like even though I had English on, it was still so hard to understand what they were talking about.
Yeah.
But
I think too, like you mentioned too, maybe there's Japanese themes that we're not understanding that we would have to watch. But as it sits, like you said, we'll just run off the negative. Like pacing. Pacing is DF pacing. Characters DF. Art is an A. Art's an A plus, but that's what you expect from a Studio Ghibli movie, right? You expect A plus.
I mean, I would say it's competent, but
I think it's better than your average animation film.
But that's not a fair comparison. I mean, I would say compared to the other Studio Ghiblis, I would say visually, like there's plenty better than Studio Ghibli. Like,
okay.
I mean, this Boy and Heron. My bad.
Yeah, I gotta. So was Akira Studio Ghibli, right? That was a totally different one, right?
What? No, Akira. The studio. No, of course, Akira didn't make Studio Ghibli didn't make Akira.
Okay.
I gotta take a shit.
Yeah, I think this. As we said, there are viewers, they are your viewers. They definitely don't have and I think they want a explanation point on what we thought. And I think, no, don't see it. If you have a PhD.
No, I mean, if you're a fan of Studio Ghibli, I'd say still give it a watch. But
if you're a fan.
It's not an easy watch. Yeah. It's going to be really hard. Like, you need the patience of a saint like me.
Right.
And, like, every step of the way, I'm, like, anticipating, like, something interesting has to happen.
Yeah, there's a couple interesting scenes for sure.
I'm sitting there watching the prairie dog and like crazy and thinking like, okay, something interesting has to happen. Like,
yeah, like I think it just didn't resonate with me. It didn't resonate with you. I think that resonation's important when you see a movie. It just didn't resonate, and I think other ones resonated with you. So that's not the problem of the Studio Ghibli. It's just the fact of this particular plot.
Yeah, this one's a hard miss, man. Like,
yeah.
I mean, just
we still love you though, but try again next time. I don't know, like he's like, what is he, 94 or something? He's old as shit, but he's
he is old. Yeah. I mean, it's just maybe there's some aspects I can't appreciate it that eludes me for now.
Yeah.
Like I thought initially I was getting the sense like it's gonna be like some pro nature stuff, which is like okay, whatever,
Yeah. Whatever.
I mean, I seen it betterly told and Princess Mononoke, and which also the arrow scene that's so obvious from Princess Mononoke with the arrow going like crazy. That's so obvious. That was pretty obvious when I was looking. I was like, oh, that's Princess Mononoke. Like, oh, that's Ponyo. Oh, that's Howl's Moving Castle. Oh, that's Spirited Away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obvious that it's self-referential to something, and and I think with the old man trying to pass on this world he created to a younger generation, but in the end, it ended up being destroyed. Which I think, okay, thinking like that, I'm as an armchair psychologist, artsy person. I think maybe how Miyazaki is probably coming to terms with that his creation is going to be exactly what he envisioned. Because with the Dave Bautista bird, when he tried to use the building blocks to make the world, it ended up like falling apart. It wasn't, and it wasn't, his vision wasn't suitable to maintain that world. And therefore he denied it all its essence, even though he's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
The world still fell apart.
Right.
Okay. But I think it's more so a self-commentary of how Miyazaki being okay or coming to terms with his world being destroyed or being misinterpreted as time progresses, and him being okay with uh uh you know, his 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 world, how can I say, being transformed, remodified to a newer generation.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Maybe it is an essay on his career, because there was a lot of points from older movies, so that could be.
Yeah, because in the beginning, there is a theme about constantly grappling and trying to catch up to the past. Because in the beginning you see the boy, his mother dies in a fire because of the war, World War II, right? But the dad ends up marrying a woman that looks almost, if not just like his original, well, you know, his mom, you know, his stepmom looks like his mom, and I think that might be a reference to like the dream being reflected in reality. I think maybe like the essence, like like the boy clearly wants so much for his mom to come back to life, right? And like you think in the beginning of the movie that Heron has a way to bring his mother back to life, but I think the journey that he goes through when he meets that little girl that's like shooting fire, that's his mom, but in another world or another time or something like that.
Yeah,
that part wasn't clear.
Yeah,
I didn't get that part, but she used the an element that that initially destroyed her, was in the end that cleared a pathway for him to get over the grief of his mother's loss. I think that's what it's trying to say.
Just trying to cook up some. Hey.
I'm trying to interpret what it's trying to say. But you know, but the movie, it's just like such a mess. It's such a slog. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to envision, and that's what it's trying to say. And it feels like it's trying to say too many things at once, but the themes don't quite fit with the message
Right.
of at least if you're trying to interpret what it's trying to say, if it's trying to say anything at all.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think those are all good. I think if he does make a new movie, I think I would still see it, but it's just the fact of me being my first film. You know, that shouldn't be.
Yeah, you would definitely like the other Hayao Miyazaki films, like like Spirit Away. You would definitely love Princess Mononoke. Yeah, like that is like so up your alley. I feel.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those came out in the 90s too. Sometimes, you know, maybe he's just, his time is done as a director. That happens sometimes.
I knew he was gonna do that. I knew he was gonna try to eat that tissue.
That happens. Bastard. That happens sometimes with directors. They sort of ruin their welcome mat. Ow. But yeah, I think final verdict. It's
a 1 out of 10 for me.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
A 1?
Yeah, I kind of regret spending it. Even though I got a deal for like $5 off on Amazon.
Yeah. Oh, $5 off. Okay, how much?
But it was still like $23 or something like that.
It's not too, I mean, it's still. I feel like it's. Still,
I mean, I'm glad it's in my collection.
Right.
But,
if you ever have children, that would be well. Actually, they probably wouldn't want to see that. But
I'll wait till they're 13. Well, that is, even if I have kids, I don't know, this fucking dating scene,
that's a different
fucking
topic.
Dog shit.
A different day.
Oh, no offense, puppy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm not gonna say your shit's good. It stinks.
Yeah. Oh, that shit. Earlier, I could smell that bag.
Oh yeah, when we took him for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started giving him that all natural stuff. What do you have to say about the boy in the heron, Bubby? Got anything to say?
My exact thoughts.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. I guess.
I think that's.
How are you gonna talk away from this super dynamic, sensitive mic?
Oh yeah. You gotta go. But yeah, I think that's a final. I think Yeah, final verdict. I don't know. I just still don't know.
Maybe
that's my synopsis.
Maybe we'll have to do a redux.
Yeah, we gotta do a because I can't.
I get the feeling that you think there's something there.
There's got to be something there. He just didn't come up with a whole bunch of, as you say, ghibli goo, and fucking and just waste people's time. There has to be something there. I feel like there's something, but I don't know what the fuck it was. I have no clue. I can't even comment because I literally don't know.
Yeah.
So I gotta watch a video on it and then come back. Yeah. And it could be something genius. I could be like, wow, it's the best film. I'll probably won't do that, but
yeah, maybe we'll do a redux on it next week along with something else. I think we should do another movie review.
Yeah, we'll do Django again.
Django?
Django.
I guess.
The greatest movie of all time. Oh no, top 3.
Definitely not. No. I think it's probably the weakest, probably one of the weakest Quentin Tarantino films.
We should do a Quentin Tarantino film tier list. That'd be great, right?
I guess. I feel like everybody's done that at this point.
Yeah, they have, but they don't have Jackie Brown on that tier, do they? Nope.
I didn't see Jackie Brown.
It wasn't that good. It was probably his weakest movie. That was his weakest movie.
It looked interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't. Really
I've only seen like a handful of stuff from it, but
yeah. But we're totally getting off topic. This is like Boy and the Heron. You give it 1 out of 10. I give it a 3 out of 10. And then that's that.
Oh yeah. Also, thanks guys for our YouTube algorithm.
Oh yeah.
For the previous video. Like I think we're almost at like 400 at the time. At the time we're recording this, at least I didn't think that the algorithm would catch on and people would have like a minute attention span and watch that for.
Yeah, I think honestly, like small YouTubers, especially in this 2024, like to come up as a YouTuber is so difficult. So, like you said, we appreciate the support. On
even
channel.
though it's my personal.
Yeah,
channel.
it's your channel. Yeah. Right. I appreciate support on his channel, and then hopefully you'll give me support when I do my start my videos soon.
Yeah, when are you gonna start doing that?
I'll probably start sometime next week. I'm gonna find.
You got anything in mind, or is it a surprise?
I don't know, so I think I want to find out what I want. So I want it to be really good out of the gate, and then I'll come out with it, and then we can have 2 channels.
You think you want to do a redux on this movie?
Yeah, I think we definitely. I think I got to do research on it to just get some sort of understanding, because it's hard to review a movie that you don't get. It's like kind of like if a 7-year-old were watch Casablanca or something. What the fuck's going on.
I feel like if I watched Casablanca the first time, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, but like if you're like a child, you wouldn't.
Even the Lighthouse, I didn't entirely understand what I saw, but I knew I saw something great. Like when I watched the Lighthouse,
right?
But I don't get that with The Boy and Heron. Like I don't think whatever research or interpretation I could find, it's like not gonna blow me away.
You say that now, then your research shouldn't be your jaw will be literally on the floor. I was wrong. Better than Angel's Age.
I mean, it's so obvious that it is self-referential. So it's got to be a commentary on how Miyazaki is going through. Because supposedly this is supposed to be his last movie, but I don't think it is.
Oh, if it's his last movie, that would make sense. This could just be his career in a movie, like you were just talking about.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. But yeah,
I don't know. But it's just so horrifically boring.
Yeah, it was boring, but the scenes that were happening shouldn't have made it boring.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of boring.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Some movies had that effect.
Like
it's hard to make a movie.
Like I had explosive diarrhea more interesting than The Boy and Heron.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean
I know that's a mean thing to say, but I mean this is like, I'm sorry, this is painful. I'm gonna be honest. This is like, I did not enjoy The Boy and Heron. I did not like it at all. Like I'm actually disappointed. Actually.
Yeah. Well, you can't return it, so.
Yeah, I can't.
So you're stuck with it.
Yeah, I'm stuck with it. Unless like I could do like some sort of garage sale. It's like, hey, you want this shitty Hayao Miyazaki movie?
Yeah, just sell it to a redneck. I'm sure they'll love it. Yeah. Like, yeah, this. I totally understand.
So, what do you think I should title this video? Do you think I should title it? I did not like.
I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah,
I did not like, because that'll.
Or The Boy and the Heron. The Boy and the Heron is really bad?
Not really bad. Just say I didn't like it.
No, I'll just say The Boy in Heron is bad. Like bad.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah,
And
you can agree on that.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it.
I'm sorry.
Why would you do that? Well, I don't know what else to say. I don't think this movie doesn't deserve a decent outro. I mean, it just felt like a waste of time. I want to say something lightning. But I mean, I guess you want to look up something to see if we could find something deeper.
I think we should look it up, but do the redux on a
Yeah, we'll do a redux on it later.
Yeah.
But my initial thoughts: I hate it. I don't like it, and you know, I guess that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you got this far and seeing inappropriate gestures from Keylander over here.
Yeah.
All right, is that all right? Is that really gonna be your name, Keylander?
No, that's just a working title.
A working title.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. I hope you.
That's just. I'll surprise you.
Oh yeah, just dig up your nose while you're at it too on live online.
I was on the outside.
I can't edit that out. You know.
Yeah, I know.
You digging up your nose.
I wanted to be my persona, the nose.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just end it here.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching. If you got this far, I didn't like it. I didn't like. I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't like this movie. Sorry. It's weak.